almost read that guy's name as Jigua for some reason.
I wouldn't even try to pronounce that guy's name. It's Xihulcoatl.
Okay, so we have a TVT here on Barney Research Station, spawning in the top side of the map, in the green. From Conped, we have Remo. And over here in the bottom side of the map, we have our red Terran, representing Flare Gaming. I'm gonna go ahead and call him X because I can't pronounce that name.
Yep, sounds like a safe bet.
I'm not sure what he was thinking when he made that name, but what is that even? That's too many vowels.
I don't know.
So TVT on Varney. What are you thinking we're gonna be seeing this game? I mean, in my opinion, for the most part, what I think we should be seeing is some passive play. Probably gonna go up to 2 bases relatively quickly. I'll be surprised if they don't both go gas first, because everyone just goes gas first in TVT lately. And as I say that, X goes barracks first, and so does Remo. See, for the longest time, most people were going gas first in TVT and then going Reaper straight into Banshee.
Yeah, that seemed to be.
But I guess that also depends on the map. Like on this map, I can see why they would rather go barracks first, because you can just go for safer, more standard macro openings. Because it's a lot harder to be aggressive on a map like this. It's much easier to defend on 2 bases. One thing I will be expecting to see quite a bit on this map is a good amount of drop play towards the back of this natural and inside the main, because there's a lot of angles for the medevacs to come in on this map. There's a lot of open air space. There's like a lot of entrances into these bases for medevacs.
Oh yeah, for sure. It does seem to be
So we're probably going to be looking at seeing some tank drops here and there. Some light harassment. I don't expect anything too crazy because of this map, and it's just such a good solid map to just macro up and go for this big power plays.
Well, speaking of Reaper, X has a Reaper almost done.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Reaper opening here from X. It looks like he's gonna be sending that SCV down to take that command center relatively early here. On the other side of things, we've got Remo. It's going straight into that reactor, gonna start pumping out those marines. It's got 2 marines out already. And it looks like he's going down for a command center of his own. The Reaper is coming across the map now. It's going to be jumping up into Remo's base shortly. And by the position of those marines, it should be able to get a full scout off here on everything.
Yeah, it seems that Remo's was about 10-12 seconds behind the other one though. Which isn't a lot, but it could be.
Yep. Looks like we've got basically mirrored builds. Slightly different on the timings, but they both went 1 racks. Got the reactor, pumped out marines, both going for a factory, both got their CCs down.
Yep. So far this
Only variation so far is the Reaper from X,
which didn't do anything and got killed.
well, it did get the SCV that was building Remo's command center, so it's going to slow that down quite a bit, because as you can see, X's is almost done, and Remo's is not even halfway complete yet, and that slows Remo down quite a bit.
I sure did miss that. Well, now it's
Remo is getting the second gas though.
Well, Remo might be going into...
Remo has got the second gas on the way. Starport goes down immediately, and there's a tech lab on the factory, so we're probably going to see a Banshee player. Because with that second gas and the tech lab down immediately, it's looking like a Banshee player from Remo.
Well, we got 3 racks from X, so he might be going bio. Oh, no,
It looks like we're going to be seeing bio of X. Looks like it's just going to be a standard marine tank play. We've got 2 barracks and a factory. He's got a tank on the way. He's just looking to play super defensive, stay solid. He is gonna want to try and get some vision on Remo's base again sometime soon, because he does need to see this Banshee coming and either get down an engineering base soon or start saving up a scan.
Yep. Well, Remo sure did catch everything right there.
He sure did. And X's second gas is only coming in now. And he hasn't got a starport out yet, so he's not going to have a Viking out anytime soon, or a Raven for that matter, to deal with that Banshee. So that could pose a threat to him if the Banshee is to come along. Doesn't look like he went for the Banshee though.
No, he went Marines and tank. And we got Stim
He had
starting
the
for X.
starport on the tech lab at one point. I guess he just decided not to do it.
Well, he built the reactor, now he's got Vikings coming out. Remo.
Yeah. As he picked up the factory and he floated the factory over to the right and landed the starport down on the tech lab. So I was fully expecting him to make at least one Banshee. But it looks like he decided against it, swapped back out to the reactor.
And Remo's
I guess
played-
with the scan he saw something that kind of deterred him from going for that. Maybe he saw the number of Marines and decided it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, that could be. Remo has placed Marines around the edges of his natural, whereas
Yeah, he's spreading
X
out
doesn't
these
have
Marines
anything.
just to cover all the angles. He's spreading out the Marines down here, so if a drop is to fly in, the Marines will start shooting at it and it'll give him an indication that something's coming in and he can move units over to defend. That's something you see a lot of Terrans neglect to do on maps like this, is the spread of Marines, just to cover this entrance from drops, because it's hard to cover this whole front piece of this base, because it starts right up at the top end of the main and it goes all the way down here to the back of the natural. And it's really hard to have Vikings covering or units covering everywhere. And if you just spread out your Marines like this at your natural, that's basically the whole one angle covered. And your Vikings should be able to cover the rest of the angle.
looks like X might be
Looks like we
getting
are
ready
going to have a
go
drop
out.
going across.
Yeah, and
X is
drop
moving
for
down,
Remo.
taking his third. And there's actually nothing back here to deal with this drop, so if it lands, it could get some good damage down. X has everything at the front at the moment.
X is, yep, he's just building a missile turret, which is too late.
Yeah, one turret coming in and it's way too late. All the SCVs, they pulled up the line. It gets 3, 4, 5, 6 SCVs. It was a really good drop. He didn't need to sacrifice it there. He could have picked up and thrown away. Because losing that medevac kind of hurts him. So medevacs are one of those units you only want to have to make once.
Yeah. X lost some mining time, lost 6 workers. It's gonna be hard to pick that back up.
Looks like Remo's going to be moving out here. And X seems to have the same idea. It looks like they're going to meet right slap bang in the middle of the map. And this comes down to whoever sieges their tanks first. Okay, Remo's got sieged up first, but all of these Marines have gone down already almost. Ah, he came out ahead in that engagement.
He sure did.
Because X never sieged up his tanks. He just walked into 4, 5 fully sieged tanks and
He lost, all
lost
his
everything.
Vikings.
That poses a bit of a problem. Losing that air control really hurts. That's going to push Remo home. This isn't looking too good for Remo at the moment.
No.
X's third base is already done and Remo's isn't even... Well, it's on the way, but it's not on location. He's got more barracks coming in third. He's getting some more Vikings out.
No, neither one of them has researched 1-1 yet.
Doesn't look like Remo has stim yet either. No, he doesn't. He really needs to get stim.
So we got
Because on the other
more
side of
racks on
things,
the way for
X has
Remo.
got stim and combat shields down. And there's a drop that just landed in Remo's natural. That's going to start doing a lot of damage with those siege tanks in there. Oh, having to pull SCVs to deal with that is never good. 13, 14, 15, 15 SCVs went down right there.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, that's never good. I mean, if it was Terran against any other race, there's still a chance because mules are a thing. But in TVT, that's not always true because your opponent has the same things you do. You can drop just as many mules as you.
Yep. Remo's got 3 more racks building. Oh, there's
Yeah,
the
X
1-1
is really starting to power up here.
For X, he's got 1-1 going. Be done in a minute.
This is becoming a really tricky situation for Remo. He's going to clear up most of that, but it's not enough. It looks like it's going to be game right here.
Yeah, that's it ended there. There it is.
Yeah,
GG.
and Remo calls it GG. Yeah, Remo really didn't need to walk his tanks in like that. If he just sieged up and took that engagement slightly differently, he could have maybe come out ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost took the fight.
If he had landed those Vikings down behind that last siege tank, he might have been able to clear out the tanks.
Yeah. The way I would have done it if I was him, if he had just sieged up even 2 or 3 of the tanks and then pushed forward with the rest, just so you've got that extra siege damage coming in to clear the Marines out faster. Because once he's cleared the Marines out, he can push through the tanks pretty easily. Like, he shouldn't have much of a problem doing that. And he almost won that fight.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
It was a good game though, it was well fought. He just took too much damage from that drop, and no stim, no combat shield, kind of hurt him, getting it so late.
Yeah. I usually try to research the at least damage one as quickly as I can.
Yeah. Also, he had that starport on the tech lab for a while, and then he never made the Banshee, and he swapped it over. It looked like he was a little bit indecisive and wasn't sure what he really wanted to do with it. Like, I was fully expecting that Banshee to come out, and I looked back at his base, and he's got his starport and a reactor, and he started making Vikings. And I think if he had just stuck with what looked like to be his initial plan and gone for that Banshee, it would have done a lot of damage, because there was no detection.
Yeah, especially the engagements in the middle. He would have knocked out those tanks real quick, and that would have been the game.
For sure. It was a well-fought game that he did well.
Oh yeah, good game from both players.
Well, that's it for that game.
Indeed.
And I believe that's it for all of the games for this week.